Okay, so magandang araw. So ngayon ay pag-usapan naman natin yung mapatungkol sa geometric sum or the sum of geometric sequence. So the sum of geometric sequence is simply the result of adding the terms of geometric sequence. So this is the simple definition o kahulugan ng geometric sum. Ito yung pag-a-add lang ng mga terms ng geometric sequence. So, halimbawa, find the sum of the first 5 terms of geometric sequence 3, 6, 12, 24, 48, and 96. So, ibig sabihin, i-add natin itong mga term ng geometric sequence from 3 up to the 5th term, which is 48. So, we can write in notation as S sub 5. So, S stands for the sum, and the sub 5 stands for how many terms or in what term, in how many terms you want to add the geometric sequence. So, ito yung pinakadulo. Ito yung magiging A sub n mo yung 5 ka 5th term. So, ibig sabihin, i-add lang natin yung A sub 1 plus A sub 2 plus A sub 3 plus A sub 4 hanggang A sub 5. So, depende yun sa given questions, no? So, therefore, so ito na siya. Yung A sub 1 natin is 3, A sub 2 is 6, A sub 3 is 12, A sub 4 is 24, and A sub 5 is 25. So, i-add lang natin yan lahat. So, therefore, the sum of the first 5 terms of that given geometric sequence is equal to 93. Okay? So, ganun lang kadali. Huh? So, we have also suggested formula for finding the sum of geometric sequence. So we have formula A. It is for the finite sequence or finite geometric sequence. And formula B, it is for the infinite geometric sequence. So ang tanong, maestro, bakit mayroon pang formula na simply adding lang naman ng mga term ng geometric sequence? So ganito yon. May mga given tayo o mga katanungan na aabot sa hanggang sa pinakamataas na number of terms. So, halimbawa, inahanap natin yung S sub 50. Ibig sabihin, the first 50 terms of the given sequence. So, hindi na natin kailangang i-add pa A sub 1 hanggang A sub 50. So, ito nagagamitan na natin ng formula. Okay. So, yung formula A is for the finite sequence where n is given. Where n is given or A sub n is given. While in the infinite sequence, so your n is undefined. So, kahit na hindi given yung n, so, makuha pa rin natin yung sum ng geometric sequence. Okay? So, example. So, find the sum of the finite sequence given A sub 1 equals to 1, common ratio R equals to 2, and N equals to 7. So, it is given that it is finite. So, therefore, we use formula A. Okay? So, by substitution, since our N is 7, so we can write now S sub 7. Substitute to N. So equals now, your A sub 1 is 1, then quantity. So we have 1 minus your R is 2, your N is 7. So 2 raised to the 7. Okay. Over 1 constant minus the common ratio, which is equals to 2. Okay, simplify natin. So yan na siya. Equals to 1, quantity, 1 minus 128. Because 2 to the 7 is 128. So over negative 1. Since 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Okay. So the difference now of 1 minus 128 is negative 127. So we have this solution now. So over negative 1, that become negative 127 over negative 1. So your S sub 7 therefore equals to 127. Okay, so that is for the finite sequence. Ganun lang kadali. No? Just substitute. The important concept there is you know how to substitute. Okay, so another example. Yan. For the infinite, so find the sum of infinite sequence given A sub 1 equals to 16. The common ratio is negative 1 half and N equals to 7. So, gaya ng sabi natin kanina, so N is not needed for finding the sum of infinite sequence. Pero sa module natin, dahil given yung N, so kinapi ko na rin, no? N equals to 7. But this is not this is not important. Okay, so using formula B for the infinite sequence. So by substitution, so we have now S sub n. Because it is infinite, so wag natin lagyan ng 7 dito. So S sub n because it is infinite sum. Okay, infinite sequence. So A sub 1 now is 16 over 1 minus the common ratio is negative 1 half. Okay, so maging ganito na siya. So S sub n equals to 16 over 1 plus 1 half. So positive na, negative times negative is positive. Yan. So S sub n now is equals to 16 over 3 halves. Because 1 plus 1 half is, of course, 1 in 1 half. And it is 3 halves. So from mixed fraction to fraction. Okay. So 3 halves. So in the rule of dividing fraction, so find the reciprocal of the denominator and proceed to multiplication. So 16 times 2 over 3. So it becomes now 32 over 3 or equals to 10.66. Para hindi tayo mahirapan, gamitan lang natin ng calculator. Okay. 32 over 3 equals to 10.66 and so on. So approximately. Okay, that is for the infinite sequence. Okay, another example. Find the sum of the 15 terms of geometric sequence 8, 4, 2, 1. So ito na yung sabi ko kanina, no? Bakit kailangan nating may formula? So pag wala tayong formula, so isa-isahin niyo pa yan. No? Hanapin muna natin yung common ratio, then you have to write, isulat niyo pa hanggang ika-15 terms. So gamitan na lang natin ng formula. So ang n natin is 15 because gusto nating hanapin yung sum hanggang ika-15 terms. So after examination, nakikita natin, ang common ratio niya is 1 half. Yan. Yung A sub 1 natin is 8. So, we use now 4. Formula A for the finite sequence because may limit siya up to 15 terms. Okay, so finite sequence. So by substitution, we have now S sub 15 equals to A sub 1 is 8, quantity 1 minus the common ratio is 1 half to the 15 quantity. So over or divided by 1 minus 1 half. Okay. Ayan na siya. So S sub 15 equals now to 8. Quantity 1 minus 1 to the 15 is 1. And 2 to the 15 is 32,768. So quantity over 1 minus 1 half is 1 half. Okay. Okay, so let's proceed. So S sub 15 now is equal to 8 times. So the difference of 1 minus 1 over 32,768 using our calculator is 0.999969 and so on. So over 0.5. So 1 half is 0.5. So magamit na lang tayo ng calculator. Okay? So S sub 50 now is 7.99975. That is the product of 8 times 0.99969, okay, over 0.5. Yeah. So therefore, our S sub 15 is equal to 15.999511. So therefore, the sum of the 15 terms of geometric sequence 8, 4, 2, 1, and so on is 15.999511. Okay, that is approximately. Huh? So, pwede nang isulat na 5.9. Okay? Huwag lang yung 16, no? So, 5.9, kailangan merong decimal tayo. Okay? Pwede rin 15.99. Okay? So, that's how to find the sum of the terms of geometric sequence. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay. So, sabi naman dito, find the sum of the terms of a geometric sequence where the first term is 4 and the last term is 324 and the common ratio is 3. So the last term is 324. So of course, it is finite because there is a limit. The last term is 324. Okay? But in this 324, we don't know yet the position of this 324. Kung ikailang term siya. Di pa natin alam kung ikailang term pa yung 324. Kung kaya yung n natin is unknown. Where ang R natin, common ratio is 3. Ang A sub 1 is given that equals to 4. And your A sub n is equals to 324. So our last term is 324. But we don't know yet, hindi pa natin alam yung value ng n. Kung ikailang term yung 324. Kung kaya, kailangan pa nating malaman kung ikailang term yung 324 sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng ating general pattern ng geometric sequence na equals to A sub n is equal to A sub 1 quantity R to the power of n minus 1 quantity. Okay, so substitute na natin dyan. Yung A sub n natin is 324 equals now to 4. Yung A sub 1 natin is 4. Yung R natin is 3 to the n minus 1. Okay, so property of equality. So we divide both side by 4. So makancel na dito yung 4. So 324 divided by 4 is 81. Okay. So 81 now is equals to 3 to the n minus 1. So hanapan natin ngayon ng exponential number na ang base niya ay 3. So, posible ba na mayroong base 3 ang 81 to the power of n? So, mayroon siya. So, we can write 81 as 3 to the 4. Okay? So, 81 is 3 to the 4 because 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. 27 times 3 is 81. So, 81 is also equal to 3 to the 4. So, therefore, Rn minus 1 equals to 4. Okay? Kita nyo? If 81 is 3 to the 4, so this n minus 1 is equals to 4. And Rn now is equals to 4 plus 1. So, Rn is 5. Okay? So, mayroon na tayo ngayong 5. Mayroon na tayong n equals to 5. So, kukunin na natin ngayon yung sum ng 5 term ng given geometric sequence because we have now Rn is equal to 5. Yan. So, mayroon na tayong n equals to 5. So, dahil finite yan, so ito yung gamitin natin na formula. Yung formula A ng geometric sum. Okay, so by substitution, so mayroon tayo ngayong S sub 5 because your n is 5 is equal now to 4 quantity 1 minus your common ratio is 3 to the 5th because your n is 5. Okay, quantity. All over 1 minus the common ratio 3. Okay, so we have now S sub 5 equals to 4 times quantity 1 minus, so 3 to the 5 is 243. Quantity all over negative 2 because 1 minus 3 is negative 2. And we have now 4 times negative 2 for 2. So of course, negative 2 for 3 minus plus 1 is negative 2 for 2. So over negative 2. Okay, so our S sub 5 now. So we simplify 4 over negative 2 is negative 2. So times negative 242. So it becomes positive. So S sub 5 now is equals to 484. So therefore, the sum of the term of geometric sequence where the first term is 4, the last term is 324, and the common ratio is 3 is equal to 484. Okay, so another example. So find the sum of infinite geometric sequence if the first term is 6 and the common ratio R is equal to 3. So since this is infinite, so gamitan natin ng formula B yung sa infinite sequence natin. Okay, so we have that S is equals to A sub 1 over 1 minus R. So, pwede wala na yung sub N ng S. Pwede rin andyan siya. So, wag natin lagyan ng number kasi infinite. So, by substitution now, is equals now to 6 over 1 minus 3. Yung 6, yung value ng A sub 1 natin. Yung 3 is yung common ratio natin ng R. Okay, so ito na yung lalabas. So, 6 over negative 2 because 1 plus negative 3 is negative 2. So, we have now S sub n equals to negative And so therefore, the sum of the infinite geometric sequence, if the first term is 6 and the common ratio is r equals to 3, is negative 3. Hanggang dito na lamang po. Sana naman may natutunan kayo sa ating munting pag-aaral tungkol sa topic na ito. Hanggang sa muli!